What's going on, guys? Andrew Piluk Hockey here, back again with another video. Today I'm going to be doing something a little fun, and it's going to be brought to you by you guys. So some people commented on a post that I made on my community tab the other day where I talked about what trades the Leafs could make if you were the GM, if it was up to you. Now, I'd also like to keep doing videos like this, so if you have your own trade suggestions, leave them in the comment section down below, because I want to keep making videos like this because I think it's a lot of fun to not just hear from you guys in just a comment, but be able to respond to you guys in a video format. Now, I only have a couple in here, but this was just a trial run. You guys didn't really know that I was going to be doing this. I did leave it on my community tab, but sometimes not everybody checks there. So if you just go on my channel, click on community tab, you'll see posts there, or if you have my notifications turned on for this channel, then it's a lot easier. So please subscribe, I'd really appreciate it, and like the video. It only takes a second and you'll be notified every single time I upload. Thanks again for all the support lately, but let's just look in on that community post. So I put this here the other day. Leave me your Maple Leafs trade suggestions and I'll make a video on them. We got 16 likes on there. Again, not a lot of people use my community tab, which is completely fine. Nothing bad there. Just wanted to let you guys know that this is what stuff we could be doing. But leave more suggestions in the comments. So we're just going to go through a few of the comments here. We also had somebody just make some suggestions on what videos I should make. So thank you very much for doing that. But yeah, let's just look at this one here. So Topi Namela, and I'm probably saying his name wrong, but he's a prospect in the Leaf system, a 2021 second rounder, and Alex Kerfoot to Nashville for Filip Forsberg. Now, Filip Forsberg is a guy that a lot of people would like to see the Leafs go after. Now, do I think it's something that's realistic? Sure. You know, if you can allocate money going to Nashville and they retain a little bit of salary, or you can make trades with other teams to free up that cap space, which would likely involve Alex Kerfoot just because it makes the most sense, and probably Pierre Engvall. But the way that Pierre Engvall has been playing on the third line, I mean, he just scored again last night against the Vancouver Canucks in a 3-1 loss, but he is scoring a little bit, you know, he's doing better on that third line. I don't really know if Engvall is a guy that you want to lose in terms of depth. But again, if you're adding a Filip Forsberg, it's probably worth it. But let's just look at this trade again. Topi Namela, 2021 second rounder, and Alex Kerfoot. I do not think that this would work for Nashville, because I can't see how this is a good enough prospect, this is a good enough pick, and this is a good enough player to go the other way. Now, I would still think Kerfoot, like, going to Nashville would have some credibility in terms of like it making sense, because they want a guy, you know, with a few more years left on his contract, not a bad cap hit at 3.5. You know, just a guy that can add depth to the lineup. 11 points in 25 games played, not too bad. And obviously his career numbers before haven't been too bad. But I just don't see how, if Kerfoot's involved in this deal, especially because there's a lot of money involved, that it would make a ton of sense. Now, let's look at Topi Namela here. He's 18 years old from what I remember. Yeah, 18 years old. Now, just reading real quick here, he takes phenomenal care of the puck, can distribute through layers in the neutral zone, isn't afraid to use the center of the ice, and just displays a high level of competence with the puck on his stick. Namela smartly scans the ice with shoulder checks as he skates to collect the puck, then smartly and decisively acts in a way that quickly moves play in the other direction. Now, this is another one here. A mobile offensive defenseman, doesn't hesitate whenever he has a chance to shoot, needs to limit turnovers against intense forechecks. So obviously he's 18, still got a lot of ways to go, but a third-round draft pick of the Toronto Maple Leafs, and he's pretty highly touted. A lot of people seem to think he's going to be a real good player for the Maple Leafs in the future. I'm not sure if just this prospect going the other way would make Nashville too thrilled, but I would imagine that if you're making a deal like this, you're probably including your first round pick just because of how good Forsberg is, and he has another year on his deal, which we will get to in a second, because the expansion draft has a lot to do with why the Leafs might not be able to make a move for a guy with term. I'll just mention it now. The Leafs have to re-sign Zach Hyman. They have to re-sign Morgan Riley a year after this year, but like adding a guy that's making $6 million next season as well would strap the Leafs a little bit because, signing Hyman would be a lot more difficult unless you trade Morgan Riley for a cheaper defenseman and you let Freddie Anderson go to free agency and you sign another goaltender for cheaper to play with Jack Campbell and Hutchinson. But I don't know. There's a lot to go through there. And again, there's going to be more and more videos being made. But the expansion draft has a lot to do with it because of how many forwards you can protect as well. It would be very difficult. Let's just say that. It'll be very difficult. But let's just hypothetically look at this move still. So, again, I would think that, sure, you could have Topi Nimella involved in this deal. You might also have to have another prospect like, a B or a C level prospect. But I think a first-round pick is definitely involved in this type of trade as well. You're getting a good prospect, maybe a B or C level prospect, plus a first-round pick, plus Kerfa, which seems like a lot. But if you look at Filip Forsberg, 22 points in 23 games played. I mean, this guy is almost a point per game player. He scores a lot. He's dishing the puck out really well, and Nashville isn't having a good season. So this guy is clearly playing at a level where he's a first or second line talent on pretty much any team in the NHL. Very, very good numbers. So you're definitely going to have to give up something to get something, like, again, and this is no knock on Leaf fans because I think it's like this for any fan base, but you have to give some to get some. And I see it a lot on Twitter where people are like, no, I'm not including this guy. I'm not including this guy. Well, then you're not getting Filip Forsberg. You're not getting a good player, no matter what team it is. Forget just the Leafs. You're not getting good talent without giving up talent. You have to give up some future to get, what you want in the present. It goes both ways, right? But Forsberg, definitely a fantastic player. But then you go to his cap hit, like I mentioned, $6 million, and he's making that money next season as well. So that would mean Hyman would be difficult to keep unless you let Freddie walk. Sign a cheaper goaltender to play with Campbell, maybe trade Morgan Riley because you're going to get a cheaper defenseman, or see if a Sandin and Liljegren bottom pairing and bumping up everybody else makes sense. But again, that's up for the Leafs to decide. I'm not really sure how they're going to be maneuvering their offseason, but for the present, a trade like this could make sense. But at the same time, you have to remember there's a lot of things in the future that you have to look at. The expansion draft, signing Hyman, Morgan Riley's future, Frederik Andersen's future. There is a lot to uncover there. Now, this is another suggestion. Engvall, Kerfoot in a second. This would never work in my opinion. I do like the idea though, Corey. And Alex, thank you for the comment as well. But Corey, definitely like the suggestion here. Giving up this much salary plus not giving them any sort of future, only a second round pick. To me, it seems like they're going to need at least one or two good prospects plus a first-round pick plus a Kerfoot for this deal to go through. And the reason why I keep saying Kerfoot as well is because Kerfoot's not a bad player, but it also works, salary-wise. But I do think the Leafs have to give up a little bit more than people are comfortable with to get a guy like Forsberg. I do like Engvall. I do like Kerfoot. But if you're getting Forsberg, and if it actually did make sense, you're definitely giving up more than this. And again, I do like the thought. I do like the suggestion. But much like this one, the package has to be a little bit more powerful. It's not going to be like, EA Sports where you can just put up guys that have similar trade value and bump up the trade value, and then it just matches up and the trade happens. You have to give up quite a bit to get guys that are almost a point per game on a bad team. Like, we have to keep that into consideration. Now, this one was a little bit, out of left field for me. But John, thank you for the comment. And then we had Jerry chiming in and saying that this is interesting. Evander Kane, I do not think this is going to happen. And I'll just be honest with you guys. Sure, he's physical. Sure, he can put up some points. But I don't like Evander Kane. I don't like him as a person. There's lots of stuff that can go into that. But let's just talk about the hockey part of it. I think he's a tough type of player. I think that he is a good hockey player. There has been some incidents off the ice that I'm not a big fan of, but let's just keep it about hockey here. He's physical, he's good at hockey, but again, this would be very difficult. And the same goes in terms of the cap hit here, $7 million. But look at when this deal expires. I just don't think that this works. I'd love to spend more time on this deal here, but this just seems a little bit crazy for me. I do not think this deal is going to be very good in a couple years. I just don't think that he produces enough. This year he is, but I do not think that by the end of this contract he is going to be, by the end of this contract he's going to be producing as much as people want him to. He is 29. I'm not saying he's an older guy. The Leafs have obviously Tavares making a lot of money at an older age. 18 points in 20 games played. He's playing very well. That's $7 million this year. Wouldn't be too bad to look at. I mean, the guy would have scored 30 goals last year if it was a full season, and he's also playing on a crappy team, on the San Jose Sharks. He has everything technically that the Leafs could be looking at. And again, I just want to look at Kerfoot here too. This is the reason why the Leafs would have to move him, $3.5 million, and his numbers not really adding up there. But not every team is going to want to get him. But back to Evander Kane. Sorry, I completely forgot to mention Kerfoot's numbers there. But Evander Kane is the type of player that the Leafs would need. Physical. When you get Simmons back, you've got more physicality. It makes sense, but that $7 million stretched off, over a long period of time could become very difficult for Toronto. And again, the expansion draft, Zach Hyman, Morgan Riley, Frederik Andersen, it's a broken record. But I feel like it's a similar situation, but even more difficult just based off of how long that contract is. So make sure to leave more suggestions down below on trades that you guys would like to see. I love talking about this stuff, but I also love just responding to you guys as well, because this isn't just about me, it's about you guys as well. And as Leaf fans, we get excited. We love to see trades. As hockey fans, we love to see trades. So let me know down below what you guys think. Please leave your suggestions. Let's keep it, friendly in the comments. I'm not saying all this stuff is going to happen. We're just having fun. So thank you guys so much. I appreciate you for watching. Make sure to subscribe, and hopefully I'll see you in the next video or stream. Peace.